Marry My Husband Episode 1 is full of drama, showing the life of our main character Javon, who is currently battling with stage 4 cancer. She was feeling the open sky and fresh air. A flower petal was flying with a jerk. It was coming towards the side and Jippin moves her palm forward to catch it. But before that, a girl comes and closes the door here so that the leaf cannot fly further and it falls down. And this girl is Suman Parwan's best friend. Jeevan says to her, "You still look very beautiful." Jeevan says smilingly, "I am so unlucky in terms of husband, but I am lucky that you are with me." Suman says, "Don't say like this. You have got a good husband." Jeevan says too, "Me, looks like he is cheating on me. He texted me today, 'I love you and I miss you,' but immediately after that, he deleted the messages. They were just sent by mistake." Suman says, "If you are, then I am all you need. One thing to remember, that you should not give up." And now it was time for Jeevan's treatment. So Suman tells him not to be afraid and keep courage and dare to fight this disease. After this, blood is given to Jeevan. The window near her was open, due to which the was thinking that she could not even remember the last time she had laughed. By the time Evan came to know that she had cancer, she had reached the 4th stage. And the doctor had given him time for the last 6 months, but it would be miraculous that he survived for 12 months. But it is pointless for him because his life was over even before the onset of this disease. It was a marriage in which there was no love, no penis, and no one of our own. Along with this, we are told about Jevan's life story. She was married to Nahan with great pomp and show. Before the marriage, her husband and her mother, all these in-laws, were very good, but as time passed, their real faces started coming out. At this time, Jevan used to work in a top 10 UN company in Korea. Both his income and savings were good. Perhaps that is why Monon started dating him. She was also married, and even after a few years, Jeevan did not have any children, spent time only with her money, and both mother and son became dependent on Jeevan. One day Mihan also left his job because he had to do his own business in the stock market. Jeevan talked to him about the fact that he had also taken a home loan. How could he suddenly leave his job? Can leave, but Mihan doesn't even consider him worthy of discussing about it. Hence he remains at home and enjoys it. On the other hand, Jeevan has to manage the office and household, revealed that he was suffering from gastric cancer and crying about how unlucky her son was. He married an unlucky girl like Jeevan. Because she was the one who gave Menon this disease, there was tension about who would cook food for her if she dies, who would do all her work. Jeevan got to hear all these things even in this condition. His mother-in-law was explaining to her son that nowadays there is a cure for cancer. Disease will be cured, and when she starts going to work again, she should not take too much tension. All these things tell us how much life has already been saved. Now Jeevan's therapy ends and she was about to go towards her room, taking care of the patient, and she tells Jeevan that she is ill, and if she thinks about bad things, she will become more ill. She should be happy. She has a best friend who is very sweet and very pure of heart. Starts telling about Suman that Suman also works in a UN company, and at this time she has become the manager there. On the other hand, we see Suman leaving in her car. She reaches outside a bar, does her touch up, and comes inside the house, and we see that this is not someone else's house, but Jeevan's house. As soon as she comes, she with whom Menon is having an affair is none other than Sumani, Jeevan's best friend. The same best friend was happy in the same house, in the same bed with her husband. Further, the doctor comes in front of Jeevan and comes to know that the payment for the treatment of Jeevan's mind has not been made yet. And if he continues the treatment, Jeevan feels bad knowing that if she wants to keep him, she will have to pay for the hospital, and she calls Nan. Jeevan, after calling several times, the call was not picked up, so she leaves a message that when she had left her job, the whole family he had supported her, so at least he should pay her hospital bill. If no reply comes, then Jeevan thinks of going home and talking to him, and then Jeevan wears her shoes and comes out of the hospital, also stops, and the driver tells her that You are really so sick, don't worry. You are going to get well soon because the spring season has come and this is the time to heal. Life tells her no, I'm going to die. Doctor said I don't have much time, nor does my husband. Love me, no one needs me. Even there is no money to treat my illness. Then uncle says, I should continue on my path till the time you may not find the right note, and saying this, he quickly takes another note. Jeevan says, I am sorry, but you probably took the wrong note. And uncle says, don't worry, I am taking you to the right note. You just have to. They have to trust me. After that they come inside a long tunnel. When this tunnel ends, they come to a beautiful place. There were very beautiful trees here, and finally uncle takes Jeevan to his location. Uncle gives a note to Jeevan and says, keep it from me, or keep it as a blessing from your dad. Your life is going to change very soon. You will get a good life. Soon you are going to meet a person who is there for you, will live and will do everything for you, so now be happy. And take this note. Jeevan was refusing to take this. So uncle says, today is my last day as a taxi driver, and takes the note, and uncle bids her goodbye and goes away. Nup said, an old man like me now, Jeevan, that she. Further, when Jeevan comes inside the house, she sees red sandals outside which Suman is wearing. Seeing this, Jeevan gets scared as to who is inside. Then Jeevan gathers courage and comes towards the bedroom, and she sees both of them together, and Jeevan gets completely upset by supporting them. From the conversation of both of them, it is revealed that Min had got a cancer policy in the name of Jeevan, i.e. after her death, they will. When he gets this policy, he will bring a designer bag for her. Suman says that when she dies, we will also get a house. Then Meenan says, it is a good idea, but I did know that she would take such a long time. After all, when will this life die? Hearing all this, Jeevan gets even more heartbroken. When she comes out, finds her dead body and the picture of the person whom she had kept dirty. Jeevan gets angry, and he picks up the same picture and throws it on both of them. They both also stand up quickly after seeing Jeevan here. Jeevan was angrily throwing things at them. Jeevan says, you had done the policy in my name so that you could get the money. I will go and report that you had made a false policy. She keeps throwing things and says that I will kill both of you. Then Jeevan starts getting upset in his stomach, and he was going out of that room with Suman to kill Jeevan. Jeevan also raises his hand for Jeevan, but he lets her go, thinking that she's going to die. What is the use of hitting her? Jeevan gets even more angry, and he throws things after her again, and he comes to hit her again. Just then Suman stops him and comes near him and cryingly tells him to forgive me, but now it's enough for you. Whoever wants to live will live, and anyway, you are going to die. You are so selfish that you always think about yourself. Saying this, Jeevan was going, starts pulling her hair and starts beating her. How can you say such a thing? If all this had happened to you. Then he comes to stop her and pulls her away from Suman and says, you are going to die. You die and get out of here. Saying this, he pushes her hard, and Jeevan goes and falls. On the glass table, blood was flowing from Jeevan's head, and both of them were looking at her and asking if she had died. Even if she dies, we will say that she slipped and fell, and this accident happened to her. But the worry is whether we will get the money or not. At her last moment, Jeevan says, I was given 6 months' time, but now it has been 12 months, but there is no use of it, because now I am dead. With this life dies, and today's date is 4th April 2023. From here comes the biggest twist in a story. Let's see life with open eyes. She was dreaming about this life of hers. Tears were flowing from her eyes, thinking that she is dead, but someone calls her from the front, and she wears her glasses and sees that Monan is in front of her. She understands something. He doesn't come, and she starts beating him. She beats him so much that all the people in the office gather. She scratches his face, punches him, and starts pulling his hair. Now, Minhan starts getting angry, and he also prepares his punch to punch her. But before that, our second main character Jiho enters, who is also the boss of this company. He rescues Minhan from life and says to life, what are you doing? Yes, we all are at work right now. Forrest looks around, and everyone was looking at her. Seeing all this, she was about to fall due to dizziness. Then Jake takes hold of her. Jeevan was still not able to understand anything. So, she ran and went. She looks at herself in the mirror and sees that her hair is intact. As she starts leaving again in a hurry, she stumbles and falls, leaning against a table, a hot water kettle was about to fall on her. But here, Vijaya comes and saves her. Nabi comes forward and asks what has happened to you, and seeing her, and Jeevan gets even more scared. She runs out of here, and while she was running and climbing the stairs, she is still here. She was about to fall, but thankfully Jeevak had come with her. He saves her again and then tells her to calm down first. Now you stand here. I will bring your shoes. Vavan comes out and starts looking around. There was a post of 2013 posted on every building in front. All of them had the same news and articles which was circulating in 2013. Yog also comes with her shoes and asks her what happened. Yog tells that you suddenly started screaming. After this you frightened. She ran here, and now I ask you the same thing. Tell me what happened. Jeevan says, I don't know. Yoga leaves Jeevan at home and gives him some money. Jeevan says it is not needed, and Yeek tells him now, you keep it because you have called both your purse and your phone in the office. And we see Yoga outside, who had kept some food items out for her. Then she enjoys her food and then starts thinking, what is my present now? What happened together? Was it really a dream? In fact, life had come back 10 years by time traveling. She says 2023 cannot be a lie because I know Mr. Yohak very well. In 2021, he will get full ownership of his company. Will get it. And he will. Is with his grandfather and Jeevan. Also become the CEO of the company. The ownership of Lal Company remembers this very well. Only then she remembers the money given by him and withdraws that cash with the same code. And from them, it was the same note, which was given to her by that uncle. When she opens it, she gets surprised because there was a heart drawn on it. Actually, it is the same note on which her dad had drawn a heart when Jeevan was a teenager. Then her dad had drawn a heart on a note for her, which means that her dad had come to show her the way. And he also gave her this note as a blessing. He also said that this is from you. Jeevan remembers this, and she realizes that he was her dad, and she could not even recognize him. Jeevan cries a lot remembering her dad. Then she hears the sound of her door opening, and Jeevan goes there and sees that Mihan had come here. He takes her out for dinner. Jeevan was getting a message from So-Man, and she was asking him if he was okay and should he come to meet her right now. Jeevan says, I am absolutely fine, and right now I am with Minha. If I've come out, then you don't need to come. Next, Minha asks Jeevan, why did you do all this? I know women go crazy at such times, but you did all this in the office. Was this too much? Vavan, she says, what do you want to say? No, he says, you told me that you are pregnant. Look, nothing happened between us for a long time. So, are you sure that this is mine? Only then does life remember that at this time, it's the food was not being digested, due to which she got gastric and she thought that maybe she is pregnant. Further, Mihan starts saying, I know you cannot do this, but look, if you are pregnant, then get your pregnancy done. Your entire task is in front of you. And look, do misunderstand my words. If you take the baby now, everything will end in your life. She was saying in her mind, say as much as you want. If at this time I would have trusted you and left the job, you too would have left me, but I was crazy to fall prey to your sweet words. Then Jeevan says, your word has been done. Now I tell you that I am not pregnant. On hearing this, Maynorn becomes happy and says, okay then you are not pregnant. But still don't misinterpret my words. Jeevan says enough of you. Let's end this now. Jeevan starts leaving by saying I am breaking up with you. And Mihan is very angry at this. He comes and grabs Jeevan and starts showing his anger to him. He says, how dare you talk about breaking up with me? And here he starts talking rudely to Jeevan, which is actually his real character. Jeevan says in her mind, how did I forget that you are a monster from inside? Minhan starts hurting Jeevan here, and he's angry at her. She can't break up with me. Jeevan also gets very scared and she screams and asks for help. It seems that all the people come here, and in the very next scene, we see both of them in the police station. The police also ask these two to sort out among themselves that Both of them are girlfriend and boyfriend, and between the two there was only an argument and no one was hurt. Then on what basis do they file an FIR like the police take her home safely, and after coming home, Jeevan starts checking her bank balance. This is also evident from her old bank records, seeing that Minha has taken his money many times. Jeevan feels sad that Minha has taken advantage of him till now. Then Gio's message comes, and he apologizes to her for today. He writes that I will fix everything. Ro, he gentle. Do you know about the stock market, right? I am going to invest money again and again. As soon as I get the money, I will get you a new bag, after which we will get married life. After hearing the name of Gentle, she remembers that once Menon had earned a lot of money by investing money on Ro, he gentle, and this time she also has a chance to equalize her balance, and she says to herself that now I will improve my life and I will make it perfect. In reality, the next day she goes to Jeevan Hospital and gets her complete checkup done, and the report shows that she is currently suffering from gastric disease, but before this disease becomes big, she will have to take care of her health. After getting the report, Jeevan was very happy because she had not yet been diagnosed with gastric cancer. Now she has to take care of her health. Jeevan tightens her belt to make her life better. She is in the library because she had to leave her job. She was taking out a book related to what she should do after the job. And as soon as she and he turns back with the book, and we see Hook in front of her, asks, are you really wanting to leave the job? Yes, Jeevan says no, but I am thinking about this. Then Jeevan looks at Gio's hand. Yesterday, Gio's hand got burnt due to hot water falling. Actually, in 2023, there was a similar mark on Jeevan's hand. He saw this. She apologizes to him. Gio says, if you are really sorry, then come and have dinner with me next week. See both of them in the restaurant. Here Gio takes off his glasses and starts eating. Then he asks Jeevan, how is this life? When she sees him, she keeps looking at him and starts thinking that he looks so handsome even without glasses. I never talked to him before he became the CEO, but really he's the same as before. Then she starts saying this. It is very good, Jayag says. You haven't even tested it yet. Then Jeevan understands that he is talking about food and it dries quickly, but due to it being cold, his tongue gets embarrassed. Then Jayag helps him. Then Jeevan asks her if she will really give up the joke because of marriage. Then Jeevan remembers that she was planning to marry Mihan this year, and if she marries him this year, she will die for sure. Then she answers Jeevan, maybe yes, but I have not thought about it yet. Jeevan was about to say something to her. Then Jeevan gets a call from Suman, who is relieved. She was calling him while sitting in her room. Jeevan ignores her call, and seeing this, Suman gets tense because she had done this for the first time. Further, Jeevan's eyes go to Shayak's hand. She sees that this mark is the same. Whatever was on her hand is done. Now she realizes that she has come very close to Gio. She apologizes to him, after which both of them come out of here, and Gio promises her that they will get married and go home. It is a good thing to settle down, but it is not a good thing to give up in terms of career, and she is a very talented girl, so she should not give up. Hearing this gives happiness to life, and she says, thank you, please tell her something. When he turns to Jeevan, he sees that Jeevan is leaving. Here to Jeev's words remain incomplete. Next morning, Minha keeps trying to talk to Jeevan, but Jeevan keeps ignoring him. Jeevan puts his money on Roy Gentle, and now he had to wait till when he will get the benefit. Then Samin comes there, and she asks him that last night he had called, but he did not pick up the call. Seeing Samin's face, he remembers how badly he treated her. She tells him that where she went last night, she met the same lady who has fourth stage cancer, and the big thing is that her husband is also having an affair with Kazi's best friend. There's Suman says, how bad will that best friend be who is doing this with her friend? Then she puts her head on her lap and says, but if you die, then understand that. Ma'am, I will also die. Then Jeevan is called by the manager, and he pushes Suman out of here. Actually, Jeevan had stayed awake all night and made a project on Milky. Jeevan had made this project earlier too. Suman gave it to Manager Kim without making any changes, and Manager Kim liked this project so much that he promoted Suman, so this time Jeev did not want to let this opportunity slip away. But here it gets reversed and manager Kem starts shouting at him that what kind of session is this? He should go and improve it. And then come here. Further, Jeevan starts thinking about what he should do next. What should have happened has not happened then. Here comes Miss Young. She thinks that she should take help from them, but before that, someone comes to call her and she leaves. From here, she goes. She had kept her coffee cup half on the table, which was about to fall, and Jeevan goes to put that cup properly when she hits the box and falls down, due to which she also gets hurt. But this is just it is about to happen, and this time when Jeevan goes to save the cup, she jumps before it hits the box, and this time she saves the cup from falling, and this time she did not get hurt. This makes Jeevan very happy. This happens because this time she had changed the situation, i.e. it is possible. Then as soon as she comes out from here, Minhan was behind her and Jeevan starts running to get rid of him, only then she sees the things coming from the front. She was about to collide with Gio, but then Gio pulls her and he tells her to be careful. Jeevan, she was saved this time by getting hurt at the same place. She comes to the washroom and starts thinking that all this was the same. If I'd told her to had it collided, I would have got hurt at the same place. Why did Haseen get recreated? Then as soon as she comes out of the washroom, Mihan again chases her, and this time also Jeevan runs to avoid him, going from the front. He collides with the flower part, due to which she gets injured at the same place. She tried to avoid this accident, but she could not, which means she cannot change what happened to her in 2023. She was getting worried thinking about all this. Then she looks at her hand and thinks, but this mark was gone. Further, when Jeevan sits on her seat, Monan messages her, and he writes that he sold Rojenta stock and bought the stock of EU company. He has taken it, and he has done it for her. If there is benefit in it, then he will do everything for her, then she will forgive him. But Jeevan knows very well what happened to take EU company and all its stock. Markets had drowned and its CEO had also fled the country. That is, all the money is going to be lost. The stocks that Jeevan had bought, Min has sold the same stocks and invested them in another company. That is, whatever is going somehow she tried to will happen, change the situation that she was going to get hurt. But then she got hurt now, and the harm she was going to get will also happen. That is, she cannot change anything now. And when her hand was about to move, she had to. Jiak had saved her, hence her injury went to her hand. That is, it is clear that whatever is going to happen will happen, but if the body is changed, then maybe she can be saved. Jeevan had understood the whole thing. She cannot avoid Vani, but if he changes his place, then everything can change. Now all the employees start going towards the meeting room for the meeting. Suman comes to Jeevan and says, "How did you get hurt? You keep getting hurt every time." Then Soman Van goes and sits near Mihan, looking at both of them and says, "Now whatever is going to happen in my life, Mihan, you will cover it up, and hence you will have to marry my husband." And this is where the episode ends. She goes